My name's Ruben Lopez, and I'm from New York, son. So this is going to be one of my most boring videos ever. This is me comparing 3 cameras, which I believe are better than the GoPro Hero 9. So if you're not in the market for an action camera, I do encourage you to turn off this video. Don't watch it. Just go watch one of my Cuban vlogs or one of my other travel vlogs. And if you are in the market for an action camera, we got the Insta360 1-inch mod versus the RX0. And I'm holding these at about 2.5 feet each, as you guys can see. With the Insta360, I do gotta stretch my arm out. With the RX0, I really don't. I could have it this close if I wanted to, and I could have pressed the shutter button to refocus. On the Insta360, everything from like this point and on should be in focus, and everything this close shouldn't be in focus. So let's see what the quality is like, and let's also see what is like the stabilization is like right now. So we'll see what the stabilization is like right now. It is raining, so I did have to put away the OSMO pocket, but I got these 2 bad boys out. And you guys let me know if the stabilization is worth the compromise of carrying something that's almost twice as big as the RX0. Plus, let's look at the image quality, also the resolution, to see if it's actually a lot better. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So what really gets my attention on the RX0 is the low light performance. So we'll see if the Insta360 1R 1-inch actually does produce just as good low light as the RX0 Mark II does. And there goes the hallway cat who lives in the hallway. So you guys let me know if the image quality is comparable in some sense. If the Insta360 5.3K actually looks better, maybe it will look better than the RX0, I don't know. So I am hoping that the grain that I see in the screen doesn't show through on the footage. So we'll see what that looks like. So you guys tell me which one of these cameras actually look like they perform better in a low light situation. Because if the Osmo Pocket performs better than the Insta360 1R with the 1-inch sensor, I mean, this is going to be like mind-blowing. This is going to be like a waste of time. This company should have never dropped this camera. They should have just focused on their 4K and their 360 video. But we'll see what this looks like, or maybe they could fix it in a firmware update. I don't know. I'm also going to apply the noise reduction in post just to see if that makes a difference. And I'm also going to apply the color in post just to see if that makes a difference. So I'm going to be exporting a lot of files through my iPad out of the Insta360 1R. So this video might seem pointless to a lot of people, but for those of you guys that are looking for the perfect vlogging camera, this video is going to be very useful. So we'll go ahead and just take a few steps back. I just jogged over here. We'll go ahead and jog this way. We'll just keep going back and forth, see what this looks like. Because in low light, the Insta360 1R might suffer more than this mechanical gimbal. So, alright. And we'll end the video with the queen. She is the queen of this house. She rules with an iron fist. Last but not least, we're doing the LG G8 versus the Insta 1R. And the LG G8 is shooting in 1080p because it is super stabilized, so the stabilization should look just as good. So in image quality, the Insta360 does look a lot better than this old LG G8 phone. It would have been a shame if it didn't. I did have to do this voiceover because the audio out of the Insta360 was absolutely unusable, and the LG G8 was a little usable, but it was pretty loud with the wind also. So here we are, the A7S Mark II versus the Insta360 1R with the 1-inch sensor, just to see what the image quality looks like when comparing these 2 cameras. Obviously, the A7S Mark II is a professional camera, but I wanted to see if the Insta360 with the 1-inch sensor could mix in well with my A7S Mark II, because the RX0 could absolutely mix in very well with the A7S Mark II. You won't even notice much of a difference in image quality unless you look for it, but mostly you wouldn't even notice that I'm switching in between cameras. Now I want to see if the Insta360 can perform good, or at least good enough to be used with the A7S Mark II. So this is my A7S Mark II versus Insta360. Alright, so we're back. It is about 5:15 in the afternoon. I just parked my car in the house. I am parked beneath the tree, so there is a little bit of shade inside of this car, and it is somewhat low light. I was having some auto focusing problems with the Osmo Pocket, and the reason is because I got too close to my face. But if I also get too close to my face with the Insta360 with the 1-inch sensor, it'll also have focusing problems. So I have to be about this far away with both cameras in order to get the full resolution. So I'm recording 4K at 24 frames per second out of the Osmo Pocket, and I'm recording 5.3K at 24 frames per second out of the Insta360 1R 1-inch sensor camera. So at this focal distance is where I should be getting the best image quality out of both of these cameras. And like I said before, it is daylight, but I am underneath the tree, so I am getting a lot of shade from the sun. And we'll see, to me this is low light. You're gonna see some noise, maybe like in the seats, in the blacks, in the shadows, you'll see a little bit of noise. But I'll zoom in and I'll see what the image quality looks like. So let me try to stand as still as I possibly can, just for you guys to see what the image quality looks like when we zoom in. So we're gonna do probably like a 4x zoom just to see what it looks like. Also, I would like to point out that the microphone inside of the Osmo Pocket is so much better, mainly because it's pointing directly at me. It is a one-directional microphone, and out of the Insta360 is more of a stereo microphone, so it's more comparable to the RX0 Mark II, and the Osmo Pocket just performs like so much better. Since the microphone is pointing at me, what I can do is walk against the wind or cover up most of the Osmo Pocket, and you won't hear much of that wind. With the Insta360, it just picks up all the wind. The 361R versus Osmo Pocket. The sun is starting to come down, so we'll see what this looks like. This is sort of a low light test, and we'll see what the difference is between the two cameras. So this is a quick low light test. I think I'm at about 3 feet right here. So this is the best resolution that you're gonna get out of the Insta360 1R. Is about this far away from the camera. And also with the Osmo Pocket tilt. So let me just get closer so you guys can see what the resolution looks like this close. I should be out of focus on both cameras, and I should slowly regain focus as I'm backing up.
Something happened on this one, it turned off.
Yeah, that's fine, but it didn't stop recording. And now let's do a 4x crop, a 4x digital zoom, just to see what the resolution looks this far away from the camera. So as you guys will see, as the sun keeps setting, you guys will see that the resolution should look a lot worse on both of the cameras, but I just want to do a quick comparison to see on which one it looks better. Now with the Denoiser that Insta360 has in the Studio app, the Denoiser is absolutely amazing. It gets rid of all the grain, but it also gives the image more of a 1080p look versus the resolution of 4K or 5.3K as they say they record. So it's about 15 minutes later. It is getting a little bit darker, so we'll see what the resolution on both of these cameras look like. For some reason, the Osmo's not looking too good to me in this low light scenario, but the Insta360 is looking better. But again, with that denoise feature on, so it kind of makes the footage look more 1080p, and you can't really see a lot of resolution on my face. But yeah, let's see what this looks like. For those of you guys that don't know what the RX0 Mark II is, it's basically the only real life GoPro killer. I think the Insta360 1-inch sensor is also a GoPro killer, but it's not as much of a killer as the RX0 Mark II. So the RX0 Mark II blows it out of the water in resolution, and the Insta360 with the 1-inch sensor is just a small upgrade over the GoPro Hero 9 or the 8. Right off the back, the main differences between these two cameras are the size. So you guys can see that the Insta 1R, for some reason, it just seems like it's like twice as big, even though it's not twice as big if you measure it out, but it just seems like it is. And in order for you to have a waterproof case, in order for the Insta360 1R to be waterproof, you do need to put on this case. With the RX0 Mark II, it's automatically waterproof. Also, you can switch the screen around to selfie mode on the Insta 360 but that requires you to take apart the whole entire camera and flip the screen over and then put it all back together. With the RX0, if you want to go into selfie mode, you simply just flip the screen around and you got yourself a selfie camera. RX0 Mark II is superior in that regards. Both of these cameras, you can put a microphone jack into them. With the Insta 360, it doesn't have a microphone jack input. You actually have to buy an adapter, USB Type-C to microphone, in order to attach it to it. With this one, you just put it right into the microphone jack and you're good to go. So this is going to be one of my most boring videos ever. This is me comparing three cameras which I believe are better than the GoPro Hero 9 camera, and one of them costs $329, the other one costs $550, and the third one costs $750. And if you are in the market for an action camera, then let me tell you that the Insta 360 with the 1-inch sensor is a camera that's just not ready for the market. The auto white balancing on this camera is absolutely horrible. Like if I'm walking underneath the light, while I'm behind the light, I'll be like orange or yellow or whatever, and as I'm walking through the light, I'll start turning green, and as I'm passing the light, I'll start turning purple, all types of different colors. You guys will see that in the video. 100% the RX0 is still a GoPro killer, and it produces a fabulous, absolutely fabulous image, and this is the action camera to get. I mean, it costs $750. It is more expensive than a GoPro, but is it worth a little bit more than twice as much as a GoPro? I would have to say no, because when you're using action cameras, you're usually using them in the daylight. The reason why I decided to get it is because it has a sensor that's 4 times bigger than the one in the GoPro. So when I'm recording something at nighttime or with low light, when I'm walking through these stands in South America, like the fruit stands and stuff, I can record with this camera discreetly and nobody ever tells me anything. It doesn't bother them for me to record their stands or whatever it is that they're selling. Now, if budget is something that you're worried about and you want to shoot cinematic videos, then the Osmo Pocket is the camera to get. If you're worried about shooting more sports scenes, but you just think to yourself, how many times are you actually in a situation where you want to record that you need a waterproof camera? So this produces a much better image than the Osmo Action or the GoPro. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below so you guys can check out how this outperforms the GoPro and the Osmo by a lot, by like more than half, and it's actually cheaper. It only costs $329. I try to cover a lot in this comparison. I really do hope that you guys did enjoy this video. Hook me up with a thumbs up, hook me up with a share, hook me up with a subscribe. Just show me some love, because this video actually took me about, I would say, a good 20 hours to record everything and edit everything. So I put a lot of work and a lot of effort into making this video. I hope you guys can share the love. See you guys on the next one. My name's Ruben Lopez, and I'm from New York, son.